A woman-owned company in Gulfport is showing off its disaster relief services, providing support to communities and crews across the nation. Granny's Alliance deploys equipment and mobile facilities for emergency response to things like hurricanes, pipeline shutdowns, and more. Parker Boyd reports.
You're looking inside a brand new mobile command center at Granny's Alliance. Computers line the walls and charging outlets are ready for crews in the field. The Gulfport Disaster Response Company says this is its newest addition as it prepares for the upcoming hurricane season.
We have a slogan that failure is not an option, and that's what we follow by.
For 26 years, Granny's Alliance has provided emergency relief equipment from Gulfport to communities across the country. Senior Vice President Doug Birch says they have 450 pieces of equipment, everything from accessible restrooms and showers to sleeping and laundry units.
We have set sites up to take care of 4,000 people following Hurricane Sandy up in the Northeast, Hurricane Ida that hit in Louisiana.
In January, the company deployed to Oxford to help during Mississippi's winter storm.
May have been one of the most stressful deployments. You never know when we're going to be needed.
This open house gives visitors a chance to see those resources up close. Robert Chambers with Environmental Risk Solutions says the company's focus on accessibility stood out, including ramps that help seniors and people with disabilities reach the shower units.
Visiting them and learning about what new equipment they have for people that either they put up a man camp during a shutdown or during a natural disaster.
Granny's also has examination rooms designed to support medical needs in the field.
We take care of not only the first responders, but the survivors that have gone through the storm.
We want to protect the environment and the people that are cleaning it up. We want them to be safe and we want them to be healthy. And these resources provide that.
And as hurricane season approaches, Granny's Alliance says that mobile command center will be at the center of it all. The nerve center coordinating crews, communications, and relief efforts wherever they're needed most. In Gulfport, Parker Boyd, WLOX News Now.